Video, I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process to creating a profitable e-commerce business in 2026. And I'm not talking about some outdated methods that worked 3 years ago. I'm talking about strategies that work today. I've been doing e-commerce for 6 years now, and I've helped multiple different students go from complete beginners to creating their first ever profitable store. And for myself, I've had multiple different stores doing tens of thousands of dollars every single month. I live in my dream apartment. I drive my dream car. I have everything that you'd ever want at 22 years old. And I'm not saying this to flex on you or to tell you that I'm better than you, but I'm telling you this to show you what is possible. So I'm going to break down exactly how to do this in a simple 4-step framework. Step number 1 is going to be picking your niche. And then step number 2 is going to be picking a winning product, which is probably the most important part when it comes to e-commerce. And step number 3 is creating a store that actually converts. And I'm going to show you exactly how we can create stores in less than 5 minutes. And then step number 4 is the marketing systems that I still use to this day to have stores do tens of thousands of dollars every single month. And if you stick to the end, I'm going to show you the biggest mistake that kills stores before they ever even launch. Starting off, we're going to go over the best way to start an e-commerce business in 2026, and this is how I've been able to make $50,000 a month. And this follows the 4 pillars of e-commerce that we implement inside of Ecom Launcher. So the first pillar is going to be picking your niche. And when it comes to picking your niche, we have 3 different options here. We can go with a general store. General stores are usually just stores that sell multiple different products from multiple different niches. This used to work in the past, but it just doesn't really work the same way that it used to work. Now, the second option that we have is our one product store. And this is kind of more geared towards advanced dropshippers. So these stores typically convert really well because you're building out this entire store based around this one product. Every time you want to test out a new product, you have to create a brand new store for it. And as a beginner, you don't know what winning products look like. You don't really know how to create websites in general. So you're going to be creating websites over and over and over again, testing out new different products, when instead we can go with the third option right here, which is the niche store. So you pick multiple different products within that niche, making it a lot easier to test products in general. So again, every single time you want to test out a new product, you don't have to rebuild your store. All you have to do is just grab another product from the exact same niche, plug it into your store, tweak it around a little bit, obviously, to make it work for that product, and then you're pretty much good to go. This makes it a lot easier for beginners because, again, you don't have to recreate a new store every single time you want to test out a product. So it's better to just create one website and to add multiple different products to it so you can test multiple different products. And as time goes on, you can always improve your website and work on it to make it even better. So now when it comes to choosing our niche, I have a few examples here, but really quickly before we go over those, you don't need to like your niche. I see too many people trying to pick a niche that they are familiar with because they think that it's going to perform the best, when in reality, it's better to just go with a niche that money is in, right? If you're picking the most micro niche possible, it's going to be very difficult to scale and to make money with that, where instead we can go with niches that already have a ton of people spending money in. So a few high potential niches that I recommend typically. The first one is going to be pets. I really like pets because people are super passionate about their pets and they're willing to spend a ton of money on their pets. So this is definitely one that I highly recommend. Now, the second one that is my personal favorite is beauty. And this is because people buy based off of insecurity. They buy based off of wanting to solve their problems. And when it comes to beauty, there's so many women out there that will pay to solve that problem that they have, right? Maybe they feel insecure about their skin. Maybe they feel insecure about the way that they look, right? So beauty is such a good one because there's always some sort of problem that people have when it comes to this, and we can solve these problems with our products, right? So beauty, in my opinion, is my personal favorite. Every single product that I've ever ran is in the beauty niche. Now, I'm not saying you have to go in the beauty niche, but I highly recommend it. Then we have the home niche. The home niche is also really good because most people shopping within the home niche have money, they're older people. And again, there's just so many different products that you can sell within the home niche, more problem-solving products, right? Then we have tech. Tech is always a really good niche. There's so many different tech products that solve problems. But when you're looking at all of these niches and all of these products, you want to look at all of the main things that they have in common, and that's they all solve some sort of a problem or people are passionate about it. And then the final one is clothing. Now, for myself, I don't really like clothing that much, but there's definitely a ton of people that do succeed with clothing. I just find it super difficult because nowadays you need to build an actual brand around it. If you want to do clothing, you can't just slap on something on a t-shirt and start selling it. It needs to be something with more meaning and something with more substance to it rather than just, again, slapping on a design onto a t-shirt and start selling it. But it's definitely something that I have seen a ton of people do very well with. So you can definitely go ahead and do clothing, but the main ones that I recommend are probably going to be pets, beauty, home, and tech. But if there's another niche that you genuinely do feel like you're more comfortable with and you feel like you can actually succeed with it, then go with that one. But again, you want to follow where the money is going, and where I've seen the most money go to is pets, beauty, home, and tech. So now we have two different approaches here. You can pick a niche first and then find a product after it, or you can find a winning product first and then build a niche store around that product. So say you find a beauty product, you would then just go ahead and build a niche store around this beauty product, and then you can always just take more beauty products and add it onto your store because your entire niche store is based around beauty, right? So essentially what you're doing is building a brand instead of just a drop shipping store. You want to create this brand image and people will be more interested in buying from that instead of just a drop shipper like everyone else, right? Now, both of these do work. Just choose what you want to go with. So now this brings us over to pillar number 2, and this is going to be product research. So with product research, you don't need to reinvent the wheel here. I see too many people thinking that they need to find this brand new product that nobody has ever seen, and you're essentially just going to be wasting too much time doing this. What you want to do is just look at what's already working and copy that. If it's working for somebody else, then it's going to work for you, and you shouldn't be thinking of it as, I'm going to get in trouble for this if I steal their product. It does not matter. I have stole multiple different products from multiple different stores, and I've done thousands of dollars by doing so. Now, mind you, you're not going to get in trouble for copying somebody else's product and selling it. Very rare, unless they have like patent for it and it's like very niche, one of one product, then you might get in trouble for it. But most of the time, you will never get in trouble for stealing somebody else's product and selling it yourself. So when you're looking for a product, you want to look for it solves some sort of a problem and then it has a wow factor. If you have these two things, then it means it's a lot easier to sell. You need to make sure that your product solves some sort of a problem because, again, like I talked about earlier, people buy based on problems that they have. They want to pay money to solve the problems that they have. Your product is essentially helping that person solve that problem, and it has a wow factor, right? There's so many products out there that solve people's problems, but if your product solves this person's problem in a slightly different way than all the other products online, then they'll say, oh, that product solves this problem. I've never seen this before. This might be the thing that finally helps me, right? So now, if it's something that the person has never seen, and it solves a problem that they've had for a very long time, then they're immediately going to assume that I need this product because I've never tried it and this is the result that it gives. And it gives you more of this impulse purchase instead of the person thinking logically about it, right? If they see another product that they've seen 100 different times and 100 different people use it, then they're going to think, I've tried this before, I've seen this before, I know it doesn't work. Whereas it's something kind of new, it solves a problem a little bit differently than they've seen before, they'll go ahead and purchase it based off of impulse. And that's what we want to look for. So now, how do we beat our competitors if we are copying the exact same product? So we want to, 1, create better websites, 2, we can create better content, and 3, we can create better copy. So website, obviously that's very simple. You want to create a better looking website than them. That's how you can beat them out a little bit. Now also with the same thing with content, create better content than them. See what content they're posting, copy it, and then change it around a little bit to make it better than theirs, right? And then better copy, just writing out, again, just better copy, the text that you're putting in your website, explaining your product, everything like that, right? So now when it comes to finding winning products, because we just talked about what we look for when it comes to winning products, now I want to go over how do we actually find these winning products. So let me go ahead and move this right here. So first method that we have right here is the doom scroll method on TikTok. So on TikTok, what I highly recommend is just scroll through until you find winning products. This is probably the best way, in my opinion, to do it for free. But again, while you're scrolling through these videos and you're finding all these products, make sure you're commenting, engaging with it, liking these videos, saving these videos. And what will happen is TikTok will show you more of these videos and more of these products. And then you're able to essentially curate this For You page that is showing you dropshipping product after dropshipping product. And then what you can do is look to see which ones are doing the best. And then you can build out this list and then pick later on. Now, method number 2 is the TikTok search by niche. So you can go onto TikTok. When you go in the search bar, search niche and then products. So whatever your niche is, it could be, if it's beauty products, you're going to type in beauty products. If it's pets, you're going to do pets product or pet products. Or maybe if it's dogs specific, you do dog products, and it'll show you all the best dog products currently. Also, what you want to do while you're doing this is look for videos that have a high amount of views and a high amount of likes. That's just to show you that people are engaging with this, people are watching this, and people are interested in this product. Now, method number 3 is going to be TikTok made me buy it. So again, you go to the search bar and you type in TikTok made me buy it, and it'll show you all the most trending products right now. This is a little bit of an older method. Now, the first method that I highly recommend, again, is looking through TikTok and looking through TikTok Shop to see which products have a ton of sales, right? So now, when you're on TikTok and you can see all these TikTok Shop videos, you can see how many sales these products have. And that is, again, shows you if people are actually buying this product. If you see a product solves a problem, has a wow factor, has a ton of sales, that's how you know it's a good winning product, right? But again, method number 3, TikTok made me buy it, is always a reliable option to find products. What you also want to do is try and do all of these different methods and build out this list, right? So method number 4 is going to be the TikTok ads library. So if you go into, if you have a computer, type in TikTok ads library, and what will happen is it'll show you all of the ads that are currently being ran on TikTok. Then what you want to do is filter by industry or niche, and then filter by time frame. You want to make sure that it was posted and being ran as an ad in the last 30 days. You also want to search by reach and not click-through rate. You want to see which videos are getting the most amount of views currently, because reach essentially just means that the product is already getting a ton of attention. And then method number 5, which is a little bit more advanced, is going to be the Facebook ads library. What you want to do is look up brands already selling that product. Then you want to check if they're currently running ads, because if they are running ads, it means that money is being spent, meaning the product is actually selling. People wouldn't be running ads for the product if it wasn't making any money. So if people are running ads for the product, then there's a high chance that it is making money, and that's why people are spending money for ads. Now, also, recently launched ads aren't guaranteed winners. If you see that the ad was just launched, because you can see the dates on Facebook ads library, you can see when the ad was launched. If it was very recent, then it's kind of hit or miss, because again, the ad is brand new, so you're not really too sure. But if you go onto their ads library and you see the video was posted 4 months ago, then that's a winning ad, and this product actually does sell because this ad has been running for 4 months. And now, while you're doing all of this, while you're doing all of these methods right here, again, I highly recommend try out every single one of these methods and build out your product list. So you want to write down 10 to 20 potential products before choosing. Don't just pick the first product that you end up seeing. You want to have options. So as you're doing all these methods, I recommend just have a Google Doc on the side, copy and paste the link to the video there, and then write down the name of the product and what it does, and then build out this list of products so that you can come back to it later and then choose the best one out of all of those. Because chances are the first product that you end up seeing is probably not going to be the one that you go with. So now this brings us on to pillar number 3, and that is going to be building your store. So when it comes to building your store, I highly recommend using AI tools like storebuild.ai, because this will allow you to save a ton of time when it comes to dropshipping, because as a beginner, you don't know how to create a website. So what we can do is leverage AI tools to build the store for us, all for completely free in 5 minutes. And then what we can do is go and tweak it afterwards to make it more personalized. So now we want to go over to storebuild.ai. I will have the link to storebuild.ai in the description of the video, so you guys can go ahead and use the link down there to create your store. So when we get on there, you should see we have clothing, pets, tech, house, sports, and then if you want inspiration. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on pets for now. It's going to say I'm already logged in, so I'm going to go ahead and log out and then create a new account. So I'm just going to do my name, and then we're going to do a email, so type that in, gmail.com, and I'll just do phone number, agree, claim store. Now it's going to go ahead and load. Now that once we've done that, it's going to bring us to this page right here where it'll say create your Shopify store. So I'm going to click on create. And then what we're going to do is going to scroll down and choose one of the banners that we like right here. I like this one right here, so I'm going to click on that one and then select next again. wait for this to load. Then what we're gonna do is click on install store build app. And then we're gonna click on install, and then select our store that we just created. Again, click on install one more time. And then we're gonna click on install again. And then boom, we should have the store build app installed right here. It should prompt us for one more question. We're gonna go ahead and now click on approve. And then what we're gonna do after that is now click on add winning products. So this will give us access to Zendrop, and Zendrop is going to be the supplier that we use for our store. I've been using Zendrop for a really long time. They have really fast shipping times and really good high quality products. So I'm gonna click on install now. And then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and click on approve. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and click on continue onboarding. This will bring us back over to the storebuild.ai app. And then what I'm gonna do is go ahead and click on next. Now it'll ask us if we want to get the premium theme. So if you guys want to go ahead and get the premium theme, and essentially it'll give you just a better looking store in general, or if you want to go ahead and just get the beginner theme, it's very simple and very basic, but you can always go ahead and just tweak it anyways afterwards to make it more personalized and to make it look better in general. So it is going to be $97, but it's really up to you if you guys want to go ahead and do that. But for the video, I'm just going to go ahead and click on next for now. Then from here, we're going to wait for this to load. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on check my store. And we should get to our store. I'm going to click on online store right here, and we can see that our store was built. So I'm going to click on edit theme. I'm going to put it in the phone view just because this is what most people are going to see. And you can see we have a basic looking store right here, very simple, but it's a very good starting point instead of just having a store from complete scratch. So what we're going to go ahead and do is just tweak things on our own later on just to make it look better. This is going to be the product page right here. So definitely going to have to tweak a bunch of things, but it's better than starting a store from complete scratch. So now we have a fully built Shopify store that took us around 5 minutes to even create. So all we got to do afterwards is just tweak things around, get some custom images of our product, find a product, put that into our store, and we should be good to go. And the next thing that I want to go ahead and cover is how we can come up with a name for our store. So I'm going to go ahead and close these tabs right here, close our store, and then I'm going to go and search up Namelix. So this is what we can use to actually come up with a name for our store. So since we're doing the pets niche, I'm going to go ahead and type in pets. I'm going to click on generate. And then what I usually like to do is maybe a short phrase or an alternate spelling. So usually I'll go with one of these ones. So I'm going to go with alternate spelling, click on next. And then for the randomness, I usually just like to keep it at medium, click next. And then we see for our brand info, so we can put it in business or our description. I'm just gonna leave it as is and just leave it as pets. Now what we can also do is say we're doing dogs actually, we could just do dog and cat products. Click on generate, and now boom, we should see that we have a ton of different names for stores that we can go with, different brand names. We can keep scrolling down and we see that we have a ton. So we're just gonna scroll until we can find one. What you wanna do is when you're looking for or coming up with a brand name, don't really spend too much time into it. It really doesn't matter that much. This isn't something that is going to increase your conversion rate or make you more money just because of the name. Just go with something that looks good, very simple, and very easy to look at, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna scroll through here until I find one. Let's see, we got Petology, that's not bad. Scroll down some more. If Catify, if you're doing a product around cats, that wouldn't be a bad one. Then some more. Pawfect, that's not bad if you're doing a dog product. But what you want to do is just keep scrolling until you find one. Another thing is you can also use ChatGPT to come up with some names for your store. So try and get creative with it, but also just try not to spend too much time with it because it really doesn't matter that much. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a name right here really quickly. So let's just say that we go with Pawfection. So we're going to go over to now Canva, and we're going to create a logo for it really quickly. So I'm going to click on create. I'm just going to do 500 by 500. Create new design. And now we see that we have a blank canvas. So I want to look at what this one looked like. It was like blue and yellow. So now also what we want to do is look at pet or dog product or dog store color palette. And then we're going to do images. And you can see that we have a ton of different color palettes that we can do for dogs, right? So if we're going to be selling dog products, so this one right here isn't too bad. So this isn't a bad color palette. So it's like a ultra blue, darker, like navy, and then an orange. So I'm probably just going to go with these three colors right here. So I'll probably maybe do, it's a blue and then an orange for the text. And then I kind of like the idea of having it like a Times New Roman font. So we're going to come back here. Then I'm going to do the background color as something like this. Let's see what this, maybe a little bit darker. So I'm gonna edit this, make this a little bit darker, something like that. And then we're gonna do text. Obviously gonna make this a little good amount smaller, make this wider. And then let's go back over here, perfection. So we're gonna do, I think we're gonna just do all lowercase. And then I'm gonna select this, we're gonna do a new font, and then I'm gonna do Times New Roman. That's not bad, maybe make it a little bit thicker. What if we want bold? Yeah, I like the bold. And then we gotta do the color for the actual text. So that orange does not look good. So let's do maybe like yellow. It's not terrible. So this is a very simple logo, very quick. Again, don't really spend too much time into this. It really doesn't matter that much. I promise you, this isn't going to be all when it comes to your store. The name and the logo of your store isn't going to be the reason that people buy from your store. So again, color palette, you can go on Google and just search up color palettes and you can see a ton of different ones right here. I recommend usually just go with maybe like 2 colors and then black and white. You don't want to just do a bunch of different colors. You don't want to make it look like you just took a bunch of crayons and then threw it at your website. You want your website to just be very simple, very good looking, very easy to absorb. So now we have our name for our store, we have the logo created. The final thing to now go over is going to be pillar number 4, which is marketing that converts. So when we are creating content and marketing our store, we want to steal like an artist. We want to look at other people's content and steal those ideas and those videos and change it around a little bit and then post those videos ourselves. Because again, like we talked about with our product, if it works for somebody else, chances are it's going to work for us as well. So you want to find viral content about your product and copy that structure, not the exact execution. So what are a few things that we can change? You can change the camera angle, you can change the lighting, you can change the setting, you can change the visuals. There's a bunch of different things that you can go ahead and change when it comes to the video, but you do want to keep the same structure of the video. So whatever the person is saying, maybe just reword it just very slightly. However they're filming it, maybe just change the camera angle, right? There's a bunch of different little things that you can do, but you want to keep it very similar to the original structure because, like I said earlier, if it went viral for somebody else, chances are it's going to go viral for you too. So now for content research process, what you want to go ahead and do is search your product on TikTok. And then what you want to do is go to these creators' pages and sort by popular. This will show you the most viral videos that this creator has posted around this product. And then what you want to do is take all of the most viral videos, copy the link, and put it into a Google Doc. Or you can go ahead and just save them and then come back to them later so you can recreate all of these videos. But again, you want to look for the videos that have the most amount of views and the most amount of likes because these are the ones that, again, are getting the most amount of attention for this product. And these are the ones that are really making a ton of sales for these different creators. Now, really quickly, I want to go over a few content creation rules. When you recreate these winning videos, you want to recreate them almost exactly to the original video because like I said, if the video has already gone viral, you're not going to try and come up with some original idea. You want to recreate that video almost exactly, but like I talked about earlier, we want to change just a few subtle little things. I'm going to say this over and over and over again. You want to keep that same structure to your video. You want to create multiple different versions of the same concept also. So say you create this different version and you post it and it goes viral. Now what you want to do is recreate multiple versions of that video. Tweak that video even more. Just keep making changes, but keep that same structure because like I said, it already worked. There's no reason to come up with some brand new idea when we can just keep reiterating on what's currently working. And then again, you want to use product in action, clear demonstration. You want to make sure that you're showing the product what it does and how it works. Now also when you're starting, I recommend starting with TikTok. It's very beginner friendly. In my opinion, it's the best platform to get started with e-commerce. It's a little easier than Instagram. It's definitely a lot easier than running ads. You want to look for content that is like UGC style ads. These are very good videos to go ahead and copy. And when you're creating these videos and these ads, what you want to do is build around this framework that I always follow. So the first thing to every single video is going to be your hook, and this grabs the viewer's attention in the first 3 seconds. So this will usually be your call out. If you are someone that struggles with X, Y, and Z, here's something that can help solve that. Obviously, that's not a good hook, but what you want to do is look to see what hooks are doing the best. Essentially, videos that go the most viral are the ones that have the best hooks, the videos that can grab the most amount of attention from people, right? That is essentially what a viral video is. The body and the rest of the video really don't matter that much in the grand scheme of things, because you could have the best video ever, but the thing is, if your hook, the part that is supposed to grab everyone's attention, isn't good, then everyone's going to scroll away and no one's ever going to watch the rest of the video, no matter how good the video actually is. So you need to make sure you're focusing on your hooks and grabbing the people's attention. I would say when it comes to creating content and looking at other people's content, you should be analyzing the hooks of the videos the most. You should be spending 90% of the time on hooks rather than the other parts of the video. Then we have our body. So this is just showing the problem being solved. So this is where we demonstrate the product and we show it off and how it works and how it solves the problem that the person has. And this is just, again, talking about the product, but also showing the product in use at the same time. And then finally, we have our CTA, and this is telling everyone what to do after they watch the video. I see too many people thinking that as soon as they post a video and everyone watches it and it goes viral, that people should automatically assume to go to their page and to go and buy the product. You need to tell people what to do after they've watched the video. If we have a really good hook and we show everyone what the product does, we have everyone interested in it, and then the video just ends, then the person is just going to keep scrolling. Right? So what we need to do is, after we've grabbed their attention and we show them how the product works and what it does, we then need to tell them what to do if they want to get the product. We need to tell them, if you're interested in this product, go ahead and click the link in the description, or click the link in our bio, or click the link on this video right now. Right? You need to tell people what to do after they watch the video. You can't just assume that as soon as they finish watching the video, they're just going to immediately know to go and buy the product on your store. Again, you need to direct the traffic that you're getting. If you're not directing the traffic where to go after they watch the video, you're just losing out on all of this money, right? Testing strategy essentially is post organically. If it gets views, then run it as paid ads, and then this allows you to save a ton of money. So now when it comes to our scaling method, you want to start with organic content. Find your winners. So see which videos go the most viral, and then boost these and essentially run these videos as ads, right? Because if they've already gone viral, chances are if you run them as ads, they will convert as well, because they're already really good performing organic content because they're good at grabbing attention. So yeah, also when you're first starting, you want to make sure that you're testing with small budgets first. You don't immediately want to just start pumping out $100, $200, $300 a day on these videos. You still need to test them at first, because it could be the case where this video does really well and goes really viral, but the thing is, it goes viral to the wrong audience. It might go viral to a group of just a big audience of children that don't have money, right? Where if we have a video that goes viral and the audience of the people that watch that product are all older, and we run that as an ad, then chances are it'll convert well. So you want to make sure that when you're first trying to scale your videos with paid ads, you are testing out with small budgets first. And then you want to make sure that you're only scaling when you're profitable. You want to make sure that you're not losing money. So those are the 4 pillars when it comes to creating stores that actually convert. But now, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, I want to go over the biggest mistake that I see a ton of people always making when it comes to e-commerce. So the first thing that I want to go over is weak offers, right? So I see a lot of the time people are talking about the features of the product and they're not showing off the results. Like I talked about earlier, people buy based off the results and the problem that the product solved. They don't buy based off of what the product looks like, the color of the product, and all these different things, right? So I got 2 examples right here. This dog bark collar has adjustable sensitivity. Nobody cares about the adjustable sensitivity, but a good example of it is reduce your dog's barking by 50% in 1 week. This talks about the actual result that the product does, right? We're telling the person what the product actually does and the problem that it solves, right? People have this problem of their dog barking all the time, right? With this collar, their dog's barking is going to decrease by 50% in just 1 week, right? The people don't care about the adjustable sensitivity. They don't care what the collar is. They don't care what it looks like, right? People care about the results. That's why they're buying. That's why they're spending their money. Right, so you need to make sure that you're focusing on the actual results and you're focusing on the problem that the product solves, not the actual features around the product. I see too many people, when they're trying to sell their product, they're focusing on the wrong things. They're focusing on the wrong angle. They need to make sure that they're selling the results, not the features. And then the second thing is creating irresistible offers. So having money back guarantees, free shipping and returns, and bundle deals. So Another thing that you can do is add bundles to your store, telling people if you buy this one product, you'll get another one for half off. You want to create these irresistible offers where the people see and say, hey, I'm losing out on not getting this. And the thing is, they might think that they're actually saving money because if they buy a product, they get a second one for 50% off. And in their heads, they're going to think I'm losing money by not taking this deal. But in reality, they still end up spending more in the long run anyways, right? So say you're selling a product for $50 and you tell someone it's get one half off, right? Probably one of the most popular offers, bundles, whatever you want to call it, out there. We're 150%, right? So say you sell a product for $50 and they can get another one for half off, meaning they get one for $25. They see that as such a good deal that they feel like they can't pass up on it. And in reality, they go from spending $50 to now spending $75. And in their head, they're thinking they're getting such a good deal when in reality, they ended up just spending more money anyways, right? So we end up just profiting and pocketing more money in the long term. So you need to make sure you're focusing on creating irresistible offers. You need to make it so that if the person sees your offer, they're like, I can't pass on this offer because it's just so good. And this is where you can start messing around with get one half off, buy two, get one free. There's so many different offers that you can go ahead and create around your product and in your store. Another kind of recommendation is if you go to your local store, Target, if you go to a clothing store, whatever it is, just look around, see what signs they have, see what deals that they're running, because these are the deals that perform the best. There's a reason these big companies are running these deals and all of these offers, right? Look to see what they're doing so you can implement it into your own store. And then the final thing is the truth about success. You need to stop learning and start doing. I see too many people where they just constantly watch a video and they don't take action. That's the issue. You need to make sure that after you watch this video right now, I just showed you exactly everything that you need to go ahead and do in order to make money with e-commerce. If you don't take action after this video, then you're just doing the exact same thing. You're going to keep repeating the process. You're just going to watch another video about it. You're going to watch another video about it and just keep watching, and you're not actually doing anything. You will learn the most by actually taking action, actually doing the business. That is where you learn the most when it comes to e-commerce. And then also, perfect doesn't exist. Everyone always wants to just try and make sure everything is as perfect as possible when it's never going to be perfect. You just need to start. And when you start, you'll learn everything and it'll get better as time goes on. You need to just get started. You can't just think, I'm going to watch every single video, I'm going to watch everything about this, and I'm going to make sure that this is absolutely perfect when I first get started. It is never going to be perfect when you first get started. And then the other thing is better content equals more views equals more sales. You need to be focusing on creating good content. You can't just create random garbage content and then just be like, oh, I'm not getting any views. Why am I not getting any views? I'm not getting any sales. Why is that? Because you aren't creating good content. You need to create good content if you want to get views and if you want to get sales, right? It all stems down to your content. And then if you are creating good content and you are getting views and you're not making sales, then you need to look at what's going wrong then. Look at your store. Look at everything that you're doing. Is your offer good? And then the final thing is just copy proven content because it already works. Because if you're trying to come up with original ideas, you're just going to end up wasting time on hoping something goes viral and hoping something gets views. So that is pretty much everything when it comes to creating a profitable store in 2026. And this is the exact way that I'm doing it today and the exact way that my students do it today. So now this is an opportunity for you to decide how quickly do you want to get results. Because realistically, you could probably figure out in around 6 to 12 months, or what you could do is allow me to help you by working with you one-on-one. This will allow you to work with someone who's actually done this business model before and has been doing it for a very long time. So if you are interested in that, the link will be in the description of the video. And I do want to emphasize this isn't just a course that I came up with in a week. This is an actual coaching program where I work with students one-on-one when it comes to literally every step of the way. Every little thing that we do, we hop on a call, we work together on it. When it comes to creating your store, when it comes to picking your product, when it comes to creating your content, launching it for ads, every little step of the way when it comes to your store and helping you become profitable, we do together one-on-one. This isn't I give you a course and you figure it out on your own. I'm there with you, again, every step of the way. Now, we do get a ton of applications every single day, and we only have a total of 15 spots every single month, so we can't guarantee that everybody gets in. Now, the program isn't going anywhere, but I can guarantee you that the price definitely will be. So if you do want to get in now, make sure to apply with the link down below. I know you can be great at this. It's just up to you to take the next steps. Because honestly, if nothing changes, then nothing changes.